All right, welcome everybody to RWB Racing, Mitel's 2020 SF Series race number 7 at Spa, which is actually a rescheduled race. So if you're confused as to why we're doing 7 instead of 9, because we haven't done this race yet. But welcome aboard, V Francisco and Chica, formerly known as Cupcake, now as my co-commentators. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Good,
What's
good,
going
good.
on, y'alls?
So, Spa. this is
Yeah, what a race, eh? Such a great track.
this is going to be one of those hard to read tracks with all of what goes on with everybody and all of the battles that are going to be going on. I'm really excited to get this race going. Um, First, though, I want to bring up our current standings before the race. So, as far as the team standings go, currently, it's Alfa Romeo in first with BWT, Williams, AlphaTauri, and Red Bull rounding out the top five in points. And followed by them is McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and our wild card drivers. So Alfa Romeo is, trying to keep that lead. So we'll see how that goes to the end of the race. Um, Currently in the points leader is Presidio Dog, myself with Turbo. Uh, it says Cupcake in the screen because that was before he changed it to Sheikah, but he is in third with Night Kid and uh, Francisco uh, following up after that. So it's so close. I mean, look how close all those points are. What, 5 points between the top three? It's not
Yeah, and
many.
and 15 between the top five. That's not a lot.
No, it's
15
not.
between the top five is a very close championship.
Yep, it can make a big difference in how everything goes. So we definitely have a lot going on with this race. So there's definitely points to be won and points to be lost during the race. Well, guys, how about we go down the starting grid really quick and take a look at what we going on. What we going on? Listen to me talk. All right, so on row one are you two guys, RWB Francisco in P1 with the pole position, starting on the super soft tires, with RWB Shika, which is Cupcake,
Cody.
Cody,
Yep.
in P2, starting on the medium tire. So that'll be an interesting little battle to watch at the beginning. Francisco should probably walk away pretty quickly from Shika with those tires. Once they get up past whatever that long straight is, not a Rouge. What's it called? Up top of the S's. I forget what that one's called.
Macomb.
Yeah. So after
I
that,
think it's that.
it'll definitely show the tire strategies there. All right. Uh, in row two, and P3 is going to be Bent You Over, running on the soft tires with Vinny Grasso in P4, starting on medium tires for Team Ferrari. On row three is going to be Team McLaren's Patriotic Tifosi, starting on medium tires, and myself, also on medium tires in P6. In row four is going to be Ferrari's Black Widow in P7 on medium tires, Alfa Romeo's Night Kid in P8 on soft tires. In row five is Mercedes' first driver in P9, RWB Trology on his medium tires. And right next to him, one of our wild card drivers, Supermex in P10, also starting on medium tires.
Now,
Now,
Chris, I heard that the Supermax here, he was bribing the hosts with some barbecued bacon or whatnot. I don't know if you got the invite to his house, but
no,
I know
I
I'm
sure
going.
didn't. I'll have
Tell you
to
what,
talk to them
that's
about
Barbecued
not
that.
why he's on the
bacon.
grid.
He was bribing me with beers and brats, and I went over there. Come to find out, he drank all the beers but left me the brats.
No,
Oh,
I
So
that's
just gotta
nice.
say that this guy has some serious pace, so I'm
he
excited to see how
does.
he's gonna do in this race.
Yeah,
Let's go on,
it'll
Chris.
be interesting to see for sure. All right, so that's one of our wild card drivers there. In row eight, we have the other Mercedes driver, RWB Venom in P11 on medium tires. Vasco, your teammate on BWT P12 is going to be Joey Canoli on medium tires as well. And rounding out our grid, we are missing 2 drivers from the series today. Um, but in row 7 is Sheikah's teammate, the Situation, in P13 for Williams on soft tires. And then we have a tried and true friend of RWB coming in as wildcard driver from last season's Toro Rosso team, is solo driver in P14, starting on medium tires.
Right. Yeah. It's unfortunate that he didn't make it to the grid this time, but Toro Rosso obviously changed brands. So luckily for Solo, the spot opened up, and this guy is mighty quick. I mean, he's pretty consistent. So I'm glad. I want to see where he's going to finish, starting 14th.
Yep. So that's our starting grid. And looking at the screen here, you can see all the cars are sitting there on the grid, waiting and raring to go. Uh, you guys got anything else to add before we start this thing off?
No, let's get this race going, man.
All
Yeah,
I'm
right.
excited.
let's roll.
All right. Well, let's wait here for the lights. And so we'll take a look at the car in the middle of the pack and watch this going. So there goes,
And they're off.
yep,
Francisco gets a really good start, just clearing off over there. Very clean in the background. Every going 3 wide, 4
Yeah.
wide in some places. Beautifully done. Nice and clean.
yeah, very clean start to the beginning of the race.
Little bumps in here and there between the Alfa Romeo drivers, but just sorting out the location. Oh, going 2 wide in Eau Rouge into Radion. A little bit of contact between Trilogy and Presidio, his father, but at the end of the day, I believe Presidio came out the winner there. Great racing.
Yeah, and taking a look here, looks like Situation has jumped up a couple spots into 11th, overshoots the corner there just a hair, keeps it going, keeps it alive. Super Mex though is sliding out into the dirt.
Other than that, down this right-hander corner. Oh, I love this corner. It's just such a nice feel when you get it all right.
It does.
It is. The Night Kid is trying to pass Black Widow in the dirt. And looks like we just...
Oh, sorry. I was going to say up front, looking at Francisco. I don't know what the gap is, but like I mentioned at the beginning, the super soft tires, he's going to be able to pull a gap, and he certainly has got. He's got almost a full corner ahead of Sheikah in P2.
Yeah, it looks like just from the timing screens alone, the first sector, he was about 2 seconds faster than anybody else in the field. So he's definitely put in a lead. I know he needs to break the toe, otherwise he's going to pull that really quick Sheikah on the medium tires and destroy his whole strategy.
Yep. Speaking of Sheikah, so he has got Bent right on his tail. I gotta say, really quick, Sheikah's running a special livery for this race in honor of his grandfather who passed away very recently, and it's a beautiful livery. So nice job on that. All right, everyone's coming through the final corner. We got. Yep, everyone's got through pretty clean, so that's good.
Yeah, let's go to 9th place. Watch the third person from Trilogy, and let's just watch everybody go through Eau Rouge and Radion here, and just watch the way people kind of try to defend and attack. Normally, if you're defensive, you want to be along the right here, but everybody gets to the left off the racing line, opening up their inside, and as you can see, Joey up ahead getting to the inside, and now Trilogy gets to the inside,
going to the inside.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
Just commands the racing line, makes the pass, and now Black Widow looks like she got out of shape in that corner. Not sure what happened there, but an easy pass for Presidio. Presidio's going to go in, and now if we look at Nike, oh no! A little bit of contact, but Situation goes squeezing right by. Yeah, he just makes it right through, but Nike, waited for everybody else, so that's no harm there.
Yep, it looked like Black Widow kind of went off the track after that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, I think because her tires are dirty at the moment. She's still pushing at the speeds I should expect, but when the tires are dirty, it does take a couple laps, or not a couple laps, a couple corners, my apologies, to clear up and get that grip again.
Well, I'm going to go take a look at Bent, who's in 3rd position. He's still trying to get caught up there with Sheikah. Might be just being patient and running his race.
Yeah, there's a battle actually here for sixth place between Kitchuation
Yeah,
and
Kitchuation and
Presidio.
Presidio.
This looks like a great move right here. He's going to get onto the inside of
Yep.
him.
What's gonna happen?
And
Presidio
oh
missed
no,
the
Presidio breaks a
brakes.
Oh!
little too late, and so does Kitchuation. But Kitchuation kind of comes back in, crossing the racing line. You don't ever want to do that.
Yep.
And
Oh,
then
so did Presidio.
Joey T-Bone Presidio.
Yeah, that's a tricky situation. See, normally, they probably had their wheels all cranked, but it's so dirty you don't have the grip. So you really got to just slow right down.
Ooh.
Oh, and then Black Widow just shoves Joey past Presidio.
Yep.
She gets the better end of that stick. She says, "Thank you, boys. If you're going to keep sleeping, then I'm just going to take this position."
Exactly.
And poor Joey is not getting the right kind of love that he's wanting at the moment.
Well, I'm looking at him right now. We can give him all the love we want.
Yeah. Yep, there he
Oh,
is.
he's making a move on Lever right now.
Oh, he is. He is going to the inside.
And
What's going to happen here?
Get to the inside. Go for a block
Look
pass.
at that.
Oh,
Look
but
at
Lieber
that.
just stayed, or Black Widow, I should say, stayed right alongside him the whole time and just made the defense work, I should say.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely denied Presidio there of 11th spot.
Now on board with Presidio, he's gonna chase. He's chasing her back down. And she spins. Oh, Black Widow goes around.
Oh, that's unfortunate. But who did pick up from that is Solo Driver, now in 12th place. Remember, starting in 14th. Let's take a look at him and just watch him from cinematic view. Just watch the way he attacks these corners. He's nice and smooth. I heard he picked up ACC recently, and it's really improved his driving on Gran Turismo.
There you go.
Right away, just by looking at it. It's the steering wheel's not snatchy. He's not kind of making overcorrections. It's just nice and smooth. Look at the apex, attack it in one turn, and that's it.
Yeah, and while you guys are checking out Solo here, I've got 3 different battles going on. The first one between Bent and Sheikah. Second one is Patriotic and Grasso.
Oh, and Bent
then
makes
we
the
got a
move.
3-way battle for 6.
Bent makes the
Look
move.
to be
and gets past.
Yes.
Yeah, a little sideways. I think Sheikah had to cut the throttle there, otherwise there would have been collision. So good job on both of them. These guys are racing mighty close. This is a great battle to watch at the moment.
Oh, it is. I'm on board with Sheikah in the chase cam watching. He is all over the rear end of that Red Bull.
Let's see if he uses
going to dive in right here, I bet. Does he go? He
Hits
holds
to the
off.
inside. No, backs off. Yep.
Thinks better of it.
Gets on the AstroTurf and gets a little slippery there. And that can make or break your lap. Just open up a little gap. But what I notice is Sheikah around here, he's pretty quick. I mean, he's doing some fast times. Francisco at the front is doing 55.0s, 55.2s. So he's a little bit quicker. That's, with Bent doing 56.3s and 56.4s. Sheikah is close by. He's doing 56.9, but that's because he's reserving. He's just maintaining that gap.
Now, keep in mind, though, Sheikah is on medium tires as opposed to Francisco on the super softs. So
correct. So Francisco right now, his goal is essentially push. He's on the completely opposite strategy. He's going to have to go onto the soft and medium tires at the end of the race. So he needs to build that gap. It's expected that he's going to be quicker, but is he going to be quick enough? That's what we're going to find out later.
Yep.
And Sheikah here is definitely holding himself. Patriotic not too far behind with V Grosso on his tail. Let's watch V Grosso here for a little bit in 5th position as they go into the this fast left-hander, double left I should say, and then the bus stop chicane. Let's see if any of these guys outbrake themselves. Normally you want to brake just before the 100 board. And they both do just that, taking a high line up, beautifully done, and going for a late apex here, so get on the power nice and early. Great job from both of these guys. These guys are both mighty quick.
Yeah, and Grasso just bowls his fastest lap time there of his first 4 laps. So that's
now these guys. Yeah, these guys are quick, but what they got to look out for is Charles is on the chase right now. Oh, gets a little squirrely out of turn 1, and unfortunately for him, he has a gaggle of cars right behind him, all trying to get through. First night kid coming out of the pits.
penalty.
Yeah, and he picks up a penalty. I think it's for cutting the track. How? I don't know. So we're
watching Kitchuation making his move. He gets past
Hi, kid.
Night Kid, yep.
Now both of
Cool.
these guys are both on the soft tires. They have yet to pit. Now, if they wanted to pit, they're probably going to pit either the next lap coming up, 6, or they're just going to go for a full stint and pit like around lap 10. So we'll keep an eye on that. And behind them, Trology now has Super Mechs. You definitely must smell the grill behind them because even though Super Mechs is getting nice and hungry, he's not going to lunge it. No, he's going to play it smart. It's the waiting game. You know, it's lap 5 of 31. No point getting too excited. And in his view, these two are Presidio in 10th place. Can see these guys battling. There's just so much action going on throughout the field.
I know, we're what, 5 laps in?
Such a great track. Not too far behind, only about 2.5 seconds back is Joey, and Solo is about 6 seconds back of there, and Venom 12 seconds back of Solo. But the closest battle at the moment looks like in P7.
Yeah, and while you're talking about that, P4 and 5 just went into the pits.
Okay, all right, and they are taking off the mediums, so they should be putting either on the softs or super softs. We'll see what happens. But Nightcade at this point now promotes to 5th position, Kitchuation in 4th, and this is a great showing. Remember, this Kitchuation
look at them all coming out. 5 cars in a group out of the pits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kitchuation definitely won on that one. He got just out in front of everybody. Now he has nobody to slow him down. He can now basically, control the rest of this stint of his. Because remember, he's also on the soft tires, so he doesn't want to get into any battles. He just wants to get rid of these tires, go as quick as possible, and move on.
Now I'm on board with Night Kid. He sees Patriotic and Kitchen in his view here, and he's closed up to Patriotic. So let's see if he can make a move here. Oh, he's trying to go around the outside.
One thing I want to mention is that a lot of drivers they're consistently hitting these blue or green ballasts on the side of the track. You really don't want to hit those. One, it really affects your corner entry and your point of entry, if you will, as well as you get more tire wear because momentarily you have all the spin from this abrupt stop.
It also slows you down.
So, exactly.
Oh, Night Kid is just all over Patriotic. My guess is he'll be able to take him right here on the straights if he stays up close enough to him. He kind of got a bad exit out of that.
Patriotic got a much better drive there. Plus, I believe he is in the guy ahead.
Oh, look at this!
Vinny out
of nowhere. Didn't even see that coming.
Looking forward, he doesn't realize he needs to also still look back. He didn't defend that line, and that's okay. I mean, Vinny looks like he prepared that.
Oh, Vinny makes another move.
Get a twofer?
Maybe.
Oh my God! It's a twofer.
Oh, he gets a little run wide.
Oh, yeah, he did not leave him enough space on the line. He did get pushed off track there. Patriotic, though, it looks like he's backing off. Probably feels bad about, gaining a position like that.
Well, I'm here. I just heard on the race radio, Patriotic asked Grasso if he needed to wait for him, and Grasso waved him on. So the sportsmanship was there. Patriotic made the offer to wait for him. Vinny Grasso waved him on.
Continue on.
Yep, continue on.
Right on. Okay.
I'm still on board with Vinny as he's battling with Trology down the straights on the overtake. He's not going to be able to make it
way back up.
Oh, but right around the outside, Presidio Dog comes around and steals the spot from him.
On the medium tire, the worn-out medium tire still found the grip to slow down that quickly as well as make the corner stick. That was impressive maneuvering.
Now, in the process of that corner, that spot opened up for him because Trology overshot his brakes and went off the track, so kind of opened up a spot for him.
Right.
Now Vinny's making a move back. He's right there with Presidio still. I don't think Presidio hasn't really gotten away from him.
No, and it also looks like Vinny, if you pay attention, he's in 6th gear, like from way far back. So he's definitely fuel saving. He's thinking the long game, right? I mean, his lap times aren't too far off. He's did a couple 58s and 57s. I don't remember if he pitted and went in for just soft tires.
He did go in
by
for
the wear,
soft
it looks like it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those 58s, 57s are pretty good on medium tires. Now he's on the 53 with an out lap. And let's see what he does on this lap, because he's clearly fuel saving and has the pace at the same time, and that's hard to do.
So there's he's definitely right behind Presidio, looking for Presidio Dog to make a mistake.
Yeah, he's certainly fuel saving. He's short shifting like crazy, and it's smart. It's smart. Why use all this power when I'm on like a 5-car slipstream?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So he's very smart.
Now he should be able to pull on Presidio up through this long straight. He's going to be in his slipstream. He's probably going to mash the overtake. Let's see if he does. He's in the slipstream. He's got all that speed, and he's going to go. Oh, he pulls out a little early, but he's on his overtake now, and he's going to be able to take this corner.
Meanwhile, up ahead, it looks like Tifosi is putting a move on Night Kid, and it sticks. So that was a double move into turn 3.
Oh yeah, so two position changes there. Now Vinny gets a little sideways. Presidio Dog comes around. Is he going to be able to stay from the outside?
He's forced to go the long way around the racetrack. Sometimes it works. In this particular instant, it did not. So he tucks right in behind. Vinny does hit one of those balustrades. Let's see if it affects his speed at the end of this straight. It looks like Presidio's getting in there. He might back off just because he's not quite close enough to safely get his nose in. And here it goes. He's going to try one more time. Meanwhile, Night Kid is now looking at Patriotic, who just put a move on him, and he's trying to retaliate. He's trying to answer that move. Presidio did a good job of answering, but now Night Kid looks like he's just in the slipstream of Patriotic. If he uses a little bit of overtake, he should stay in it. Let's watch that all the way through to the start straight finish line, and then we'll jump up to the battle for second.
Sounds good. Ooh, Vinny is right there on the back of Night Kid. All right, you said you want to go take a look at the battle for second?
For third, yeah.
Okay.
So we have Sheikah is now at the end of his pit strategy, it looks like. If you notice on the right here, he's been running 56, 56, 7s, 8s, 6, 6, 6. These are pretty quick for medium tires. Let's not forget this is still his first stint. And in front of him, Bent is running also 56. He actually didn't put a foot wrong. It's 56.4, 56.3, 56.7, 9, 6, 4, 5. All within a second. That's mighty quick. And that's hard for Sheikah to hold on to, but let's see what he does here, because Sheikah has been real quick. He gets a little dirty, unfortunately, so this corner is going to be compromised. He's going to have to slow down a lot more than he wanted to.
Oh, he did.
And because he didn't, he went out there into the sand. So that's just something that's, paramount to spot. You can only do these speeds when your tires are nice and dry.
Now I'm looking at the course map, and I see it looks like 5 or 6 cars.
For a battle for, I believe, 4th? It's basically from 4 to 8. 4 to 8 is in this battle.
Yeah, that's what it looks like here, and Grasso is just harassing. Yep, but Grasso is just harassing Patriotic there for 5th place. Meanwhile, Patriotic's looking to make the move there on Kitch. Gets past him on the outside. Kitch is staying to the inside of the track. Grasso's now behind both of them, so there's a possibility we might go 3 wide into this last turn. Let's take a look here, and
Kitch into the pit.
Kitch goes to pit. So Grasso's now going to take 5th spot, Patriotic 4th. Presidio is not too far behind, though. He's every bit about a second and a half behind.
Yeah, he's just 2.8 seconds. It doesn't look like that much, but this is one of the slowest parts of the track. So that number is about to shrink as they start going up towards Erouge and Radion.
Now, we got to give some love to the leader here. This dude's running super soft. He's about, I'd say 40% done with his tires, 30%. Yeah. This dude's still running constant 155s.
Yeah.
Lap 1 he ran a 156, which that might be wrong.
No, that was the lap. That was the first lap off the start.
First lap, okay, good. But then from lap 2 all the way to 8, constantly running 155s. Give or take a few tenths, but still extremely consistent. And it looks like his tires may be starting to fail after running a 156.2 on lap 9. So it's going to be interesting to see if he's going to pit, maybe switch out to softs, or maybe get his mediums out of the way first. That way he can continue extending his lead even further.
Yeah, he should be pitting at some point soon. Oh, and there he goes.
Yep, there he goes.
Making sure not to touch the wall or go over those green lines, because those are penalties.
They are. Now let's take a look at Bent here. Let's see where he's going to go. He looks to be low on fuel. And, ooh, crosses the line there. And now we have a new leader.
Yes, we do, and let's see what happens here. Has Francisco done enough to get in front of Shika, or is Shika going to try and do the overtake on Francisco and pass him the next time he goes into the pit?
Now,
Let's see what happens here.
Vasco's coming out right now, so he is going... He's outside of the slipstream from Shika for sure, but...
And at the moment, it looks like it's an 8-second gap between Francisco and Shika. And he has elected to go back onto super softs while Shika is still on the mediums. I thought Shika would have entered this lap, but he's going to do one more lap on the mediums. And Francisco is going to take this advantage to use the overtake every little burst here and there to get up as close as possible before Shika goes into the pits and negate any attempt of an overcut.
Yep,
so Vinny over here is a beautiful move into third position.
Yep, I'm glad you were watching that there, Francisco.
Yeah,
I was just taking a look there. Never mind. Never mind.
Oh, that's a racing incident for sure. They both were at the apex. They touched front to fronts, rears to rears. It was unfortunate.
Presidio Dog sneaks
I'm glad Vinny waited. Yeah, I'm glad Vinny waited, but in reality, Vinny could have kept going. That was not his offense.
So it looked like the winner of that whole situation was Presidio Dog.
Yeah, thank you.
he was like, yeah, I'll take that and then some.
You know, sometimes you're quick because you have skill. Other times, it's because you have also some luck, too, on your end. And Presidio had to be in the location to pick up on that, and he clearly was. So that was a great maneuver to avoid a situation and gain positions.
So on board here with Patriotic, Vinny is still following him through. And
Shika goes into the pits.
Yep.
We have a leader change, and it looks like Vasquez negated the overcut there. So if Shika wants to get Francisco on the strategy, it's going to have to be the next step when he goes on to possibly his mediums or softs. Meanwhile, this battle for third place, I mean, third, fourth, second, even second, because Presidio has now he's on a different strategy, so he's not necessarily second in the race at the moment in terms of time, but he is second at the current moment.
Yep, but still on those medium tires from the start of the race.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's really pushing, and he can really save tires. That's one thing Presidio's been doing well.
It looks like Patriotic might be making a move. I'm on board here. He's going to go run the outside as Presidio protects the inside corner and does it successfully.
Meanwhile, looks like Ben stuck his nose into Grasso. Grasso gets on the AstroTurf and loses the position to Ben. So that was 2 positions gained in 2 quarters.
Yeah, now look at this. Shika is making a charge for second place. Every bit about 6 seconds back, but is now catching up to all 4 of them. All 4 of the racers.
Yep, they're all in the same camera view, so he is not far behind.
They are. I'm gonna do it right along here. Looks like the sweeping left-hand corner is probably one of his biggest strengths.
Yeah, he carries a lot of speed there, easily 5 miles an hour faster than everybody else.
Yep. Now take a look here, and here is. I was gonna say your boy, but that's done. Here's the one and only Shika.
Look at that, he's gonna
like
split the D right there. Can he get in there? Can he get through there?
Can he do it?
Oh
Can
my
he
gosh!
Get through?
What a move! That was some serious swervantini get through there. Oh, I wish I had replay to watch that one again.
Looks like Presidio is now going to attempt to try to make a move, but all the lanes are covered at the moment, so he's going to have to just tuck right in. Oh no, he's going to go into the pits. So he's going to finally get rid of those medium tires. And Sheikah with the soft tires is now moved up all the way to 4th, with Vinny right on his tail.
Now, you know what we haven't done? We need to give some of these other drivers... Oh, actually, no. Look, is Vinny making a move on Sheikah? He's right there.
It looks like it.
I'm going to be on board with Vinny here as in chase cam as he's trying to sneak around Cupcake, who's Sheikah, who's all over the overtake to keep him off, but he's got the run. He's going to be able to get to the corner first, but he thinks better of it and holds up. Okay, that was smart. Didn't quite have it all the way up there, so... And he is on older tires, so Sheikah had the grip. So that was
he's not a one-lap racer. He doesn't really... He has a lot more laps in his mind that he's planning for than just, oh, I'm in this position, and if I don't get ahead, I win or lose. No, he doesn't have that mentality, which is great to see, because he can definitely create a racecraft for the race, and it gets him quite a bit of points. This is a rookie in our series this year, so it's great to see his progression as he stays with Sheikah, who's on the same tires. They are just brand new Sheikahs. I mean.
Now let's take a look back in 13th. Let's give some of the I hate to say the word back markers, but the guys that are at the back of the packet currently, and see how they're doing. So Venom right now is charging on. I don't know what the gap is to first, but it's about half a lap.
Yeah.
So the
thing that I do want to mention though is that Venom has been running solid 57s. Now 57 is mighty quick here, but that just goes to show the level of all the racers. When some people are putting in 55s consistently, that's how we get this little bit of a gap. Meanwhile, he's a backmarker, but he's on the lead lap. So let's not forget that he is definitely quick. It's just, unfortunately, there were a couple situations middle of his stint. Something must have happened. He must have lost focus, or he must have gone off track by accident, or maybe it was induced by somebody else. We don't know that, but he's still running consistently. And that's just the great thing that I love about our series that we're running right now. Let's go to 12th place, where it's a similar story here. There's these consistent numbers, and then there's these just mistakes, if you will. Although these ones are not mistakes. That 11th lap is a pit. So, it's just different strategies that come involved, and everybody just spreads out a little bit. It's not about one being much faster, other being much slower.
Correct.
And Trilogy over here in 11th, see, he looks like he had finished doing his mediums with those lap times that he had, or super worn, or one of his tires were really, really worn. Because as you can see, he dips into the 2 minutes, just below the 2 minutes. And now this is still fast for this track. But when everybody is on their game, it starts to show in the gap.
It does indeed. Now over here to Joey Canola, your teammate. You guys aren't quite running around the track together like you were at Dragon Trail last week.
Yep. And we got a move here for 3rd place, by the way. I'm sorry to interrupt there.
Let me...
and here comes Sheikah on the inside at the chicane. They leave each other just enough room. Oh, and Patriarch just manages to get in. We'll see. This isn't over. This is if you're patriotic and you think this attack is over, well, you might as well just give him the position.
Yeah.
So let's keep watching as he goes.
Yep. I'm watching Sheikah right now from 3rd person.
It wasn't close enough for turn 1. Definitely into Eau Rouge and Radion. You don't make the move. You really set up. So you try and stay in the slipstream as good as possibly.
But he's got all that run. Look at that run.
And no overtake was needed. He's going to stay inside. He's going to block to the last second. He's going to run the inside line, force him to go to the outside. And beautifully done.
Yep.
Really,
and
really
watching from Patriotic's point of view, he just disappears basically. He just pulls like 10
Yeah,
car lengths away in like a corner and a
yeah,
half.
he got really good drive. Looks like Patriotic's going to have to go into the pits either this lap or in a lap or so from now. But he's still pushing. He's still using the overtaking sporadically. Meanwhile, back here, a battle between Alfa Romeo. I don't know if they're necessarily battling or if there's team, how do you say,
Team orders.
help.
Help.
No,
Yeah.
no, like if they're helping each other. Because it looks like Presidio's not really bump drafting. He's kind of just, not really helping Nike get any quicker. He's just backing off. Now, it could be because he was just getting too close to the corner and he didn't want to push his teammate in. So we'll see. They're both on separate tires, so Presidio at this point probably wants to get ahead of him. And there it is. Goes wide, lets Presidio through, and unfortunately, Vinny Grasso's pretty damn close, so he's also going to try and squeeze by. Unfortunately, gets on the AstroTurf, so he loses a little bit of drive.
On board
But
with
he's still
Vinny,
there.
we can watch him try to make this move. He's on the
He's
outside. He's going to
on
have
the
the
overtake.
inside of the corner. Whoa!
Yeah, whoa!
That was some swerving
Little
speed
bit
action right there.
close.
That was close. Inside corner, Vinny comes out. Whew.
Yeah, I was just surprised at how well Vinny held that car completely stable at those speeds, and even into the braking zone. That had he had any movement, that little correction that Nike had to do from the lack of grip, that would have caused a massive accident. So, power to these guys. And now Patriotic comes into the middle of this battle, which is going to kind of help Nike possibly pull away.
But it
No
doesn't.
yields.
Now, I'm on board with Patriotic. He's on his overtake in the slipstream. He sees these two cars battling. Vinny's going to make the pass right here. Oh, Patriotic may be able to come around also, and he does. Look at that. Oh, well,
nice.
almost.
Well, wait,
Oh,
hold
wow.
on. Oh,
Beautifully done. That was great moves.
Yeah, it was.
Unfortunately,
That's
there,
a nail
what
biter.
caused that was Nike hit. I think he turned in just a touch too early. Oh, and now he turns all the way around.
Yep.
That's not deserving. He did not deserve that. That's just.
And now Kituation's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sometimes the physics of the game, as a friend of ours always says, this shit ain't real.
yeah. This some bull.
Yep. And that driver's missing in our race tonight, as a matter of fact.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, it looks like Francisco made a massive mistake into turn one. Just missed that. Clearly he's using his overtake in full force to make up for those 5 seconds he must have lost by spinning into turn one. Looks like he just got on the power too early and just spun right around. And it shut her down real quick.
Well, he's still got a huge... What's the gap right now to P2?
It was 24 seconds, but it's about to drop as soon as Bent and Francisco clear the time gap. At the moment, the time gap's not going to update after a massive crash like that.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know as soon as it changes. At the top of the hill here, it will change.
But still, running those super thrusts now.
He went from 24 seconds to 19 seconds.
Yeah, that's a big drop.
Yeah, that's 5 seconds Francisco lost, and Bent gained on him.
And those are crucial. That 5 seconds alone is the tire change in the pits. Not including
and
fuel.
He's on essentially all the work he's done up until now. If you quickly go to Francisco and look at those times, he's been putting in 55s, 54s, 54, 54, 55. You might as well throw 3 seconds onto all of them.
Yep.
Because it means nothing anymore. Now he has to do it all over again after that stupid mistake.
Almost goes off the track too. All right, well, let's see. Let's take a look
he
here.
Still has to use. Yeah, he still has to use his medium and hard and soft tires.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Bent and Shika have used them. So, Francisco's going to really have to pull out something special to keep this after that kind of mistake.
Yep.
Well, I'm not sure if Bent has used his mediums yet.
You're right, he hasn't. He started on the softs.
Yeah, started on the
softs.
softs. He's on super softs right now, so
yeah, good catch.
It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to pan out, especially taking medium tires, I should say, this late in the race.
Right, and it's definitely interesting to see that the current podium holders at the moment are on 3 completely different pit strategies.
Yep.
Francisco started on the super softs, wants to make a biggest gap as possible to gain a free pit stop for his mediums and soft tires later on.
Now let's
Bent
make
started
sure
on the softs.
we don't discount. Bent has done his soft tires.
Correct, that's what I was saying. Bent started on
So
the
he just has the
softs.
medium still to get through.
Yeah, and used those softs to get through Sheikah and get ahead, right? And Sheikah started on the medias. Now, Sheikah did a great thing by tailing on the back end of Bent, keeping in a slipstream, keeping close, and trying to negate any advantage that Bent would gain by using soft tires. Essentially, Sheikah made his medium tires a medium to 0.5. You know, it's almost a soft.
Yep. Now Presidio Dog is out on soft tires now. He's pitted. I don't. He must have pit like a lap or two ago. And
He pitted lap 20, lap 12.
oh, lap 12.
His
Okay,
in lap was lap 13 with a 150, or his out lap, I should say.
yep. So he's going to be on a little bit different of a pit strategy from the leaders. So it's going to be anyone's guess as how this is all going to work out.
It,
Like there's 5 different
it,
pit strategies in the first 5.
Yeah, it
there
looks like he's
are,
on the same pit
and
strategy as Sheikah at the moment.
yeah, yeah. I mean, his plan was it's going to be a pit strategy race. Let's make as little pit stops as we can, get the positions. Now, I don't know about you guys. We need to talk to Grasso and Patriotic about the social distancing rule because they are just not obeying that right now. They
That's
keep
funny.
going back and
Yeah,
forth.
and Kitchuation
I've
also in
Yeah,
7th place.
Kitchuation. Yeah,
Let's remind you, Kitchuation started in 13th place, folks. And look at those lap times. He must have
yeah.
really botched his qualifying time because what he's been racing in this race currently does not make me think of a 13th position on a grid start.
Situation closed up pretty good on that final corner. He's drawn in on his Patriotic was using his overtake to kind of pull away.
Yeah, if people don't know this, Kitchuation is in a way he is the master tuner of RWB.
He is.
And the great thing that I've heard is during the week he found some tweaks that really fit his driving style, and the car looks really planted. Look at it through here. His minimal steering inputs. That was smooth as day. Unbelievably well done.
Yep. I like that livery too. That looks pretty nice.
Yeah,
And he's
I do
almost
too.
out of fuel. He's going to have to pit here. And he doesn't even really need to change the tires. I mean, they're still in decent shape.
Right. But because he is only 1.7 seconds or 1.5 seconds off of Patriotic, and he has 7 seconds on Joey, it might be smarter to just pit. You got that free tire change in your pocket. Use it. Get better tires so you can keep pushing.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of pushing, there's a battle for first.
Oh my.
Oh, look at that. Sheikah's all over. I'm on board with Sheikah from third person. He is all over the bumper.
Sheikah is on worn soft tires, low fuel. Francisco is on almost half a tank of fuel and medium tires. Blocks the inside line, goes wide, and cuts to the late apex, not allowing Sheikah to go anywhere. So that was a great move there. And now Sheikah is going to want to attack because he knows Francisco's on soft tires. He wants to get ahead of Francisco, so when he goes into the pits, he can neutralize Francisco's pit strategy.
Now, Francisco pulled away from him in those few corners there. He didn't get very good drive out of some of these corners. I don't know what the gap is right now. It looks like he should be in his slipstream. He's definitely got a portion of it. He should be able to close up some.
He's just a little bit in the position. He's about 7.7 seconds off. So he's still within the slipstream, but Francisco was using the overtake, and he gained a second advantage of 1.2 seconds on Sheikah. So Sheikah now is going to have to push down this downhill section, which he's really quick in.
Yeah, and let's take a ride here, because this might show you that the sheer speed of going through these set of turns.
Yeah, in first person, right?
Yeah.
Look at the corner speed he's carrying. 100, almost 170. Yeah, unbelievable speed. I
That is
mean,
a
at the
bumpy
end of
looking
this
ride
race,
from the cockpit view.
we're gonna have to rename that corner, and we're gonna have to give Cody here a chance to name that corner because he owned it tonight.
Yeah, now we've got a battle here between a Mex and a Knight for
Oh,
8th
and
place.
so let's look for 9. Yeah, so there is a less than half a second, as you can see clearly on screen, between him and Night Kid. Supermax is on the super soft tires. His last lap was a 56.8. Night Kid is on the medium tires. His last lap was a 59. So Supermax closed on this lap alone. So let's see if he can take advantage of the amount of the 3 seconds that he just gained on him, essentially.
And also, again, we have a battle for 5th between our folks here that are not wearing a mask, Patriotic and Grasso.
Oh, Grasso makes. Oh, I thought he was going to make that move in
Ooh,
there.
yeah, I thought he was too. Ooh, that was scary.
Yeah, his tires did get a little dirty. I'm glad he didn't do that because if he put a lot of weight over onto the rear left tire, he would have spun. So it was smart of him to back off.
You know, this guy is really coming up. Him, Bent, a couple of our new drivers have just shined come in this series thus far. I mean, Vinny has come so far, and he's so much quicker. And I've noticed just his drive seems to be smoother every race that we watch him in. And same with Bent.
Yeah, they're being more, how do you say, deliberate with their inputs now, right? They're very much more in tune.
Yep, Grasso is right there in the slipstream. He's ready for Patriotic to make any kind of mistake or be off by a quarter of a second, and he's gonna take it. He's just right there.
Yeah, I mean, look at Grasso. He is killing it on that curve.
Yeah, and he's in 6th gear. He has the amount of grip and steering, like, basically your grip starts with the front of the car. If you make too drastic inputs at the front, you're going to break the traction at the rear. So for him to keep it in 6th gear and carry that corner speed, it means he is smooth as hell.
Yep, now Chico goes into the pits.
Now I'm on board looking back from that McLaren of Patriotics to see, can Vinny close it up? He gets all the way up to the bumper. Now he's got to make a good clean turn, and he stays and kind of. That McLaren just seems to get the bite coming out of that corner. Anybody that comes near him, he just drives away.
Yeah, and look at his tire wear, Chris. The fronts have a little bit more wear than the rears, and that's fine because depending on your setup, you can carry a lot of wear in the front. It's the rears that are important for exactly what you were talking about, right? It's that drive out of corners, that when you have a lot of steering angle and accelerating, how smoothly with the least amount of slip you can do it. And Patriotic is really good at that. As you can see, Vinny Grasso, it is an older set of tires, and his tire wear is still more towards the rear. So he still does spin a little bit more, or he's been loading the tires with high corner speed and high gears. So that's also another reason why those tires can be like that.
Yep. Now looking at the fuel, Vinny is probably going to have to pit this lap, and Patriotic will have to pit the following 1 or 2 laps based on what I see in their fuel. So
yeah, if I am not mistaken, Vinny is going to pit. It looks like, I believe he's used all his tires. He's going to pit, and he's going to probably end the race. So he's going to try to go for an undercut, right? So he's going to want to go into the pit, come out, and on the next lap, when Patriotic, or the next 2 laps, when Patriotic goes into the pits, he wants to be able to pass him before he comes out of the pit. Otherwise, he's going to have to battle him to the end.
And
so
you
it's
know
going to be
what?
interesting to see in a couple laps.
Vinny's on those super soft tires too, and he's keeping up with the worn out ones with Patriotic. So it'll be interesting to see what tires he goes with on his next pit stop, because if he goes with super softs again, then that will give him the ability to make up some time if Patriotic goes in the pit. And there goes Vinny. Let's see what he gets.
Now, if I was Vinny, I'm not sure if he used if he has used all of his compounds. I would definitely stick with Super Soft if he has. Take
He
as
has.
little
He
fuel
started
as
on the mediums.
possible.
He started on the mediums
Okay.
and pit to softs, so he's already
Oh yeah,
completed
so
his tire requirements.
this is gonna work out
This is
beautifully
going to be
for
to
him.
the end of the race then. So now he
Yep.
has to put in some mighty quick laps right now. Luckily, he came out with no traffic ahead of him. He can put his head down and push, and let's see if he can be quick enough to undercut Patriotic. Let's go. Let's go to a battle here in the front, kind of ish. Actually, no, everybody's already spread out. I was going to go to Sheikah, who is now on the super softs, and his outlap was a 49. Now that's a quick outlap. Most people have been doing 54s, low 50s, but 49 is mighty quick. So, oh, look at that speed he carries.
That's insane.
Yeah, and if you look ahead, Bent has been doing 55s, 54s, 54s. He's been doing close to the fastest lap. So right now, Francisco is on the lower end now. He is slowing down his race, while these guys are starting to catch up. So
Well,
the
he
race
is
is
on the
starting.
medium tires. Well, not anymore, I
Exactly, but that's
guess.
my point.
He's gonna pit.
No, not anymore. Now he's going to go to the softs and a little bit of fuel,
Now
and we'll
Bent is
see if
going
he's
to
done enough.
assume first position at this point. We'll see if Vasco's getting any fuel. He is, so
Yeah, let's
Bent
see
should
if
be
the
able to catch up.
overcut worked on Sheikah. He's about 50% fuel, 73% fuel, and he's done with. Now he goes onto the soft tires, and he's going to come out.
Right in front of
Oh,
Sheikah.
right in front of Sheikah. So he neutralized that pit strategy there. Now it's up to Sheikah, who is on the better tire. They're still not willing to catch up. Because if I'm not mistaken,
Yep, Francisco
Sheikah
had
is
to go to
now
soft
open
tires
yeah.
to complete his
Correct.
complete his tire requirements.
Yeah, Francisco is on a completely opposite strategy to almost everybody else.
Everyone's on different strategies. It's insane all the different strategies going on in here. You know what? Before this race gets too close to the end, I want to just start from the top and work our way down and just make sure we give everybody a quick mention that's here in the race. So starting up front, we've got Bent, who is currently our leader, although his pit strategy may require him to pit one more time beforehand.
Yeah, he still has to
P2,
go for mediums.
Francisco in BWT. And then we'll go to P3 with Jashika. We've seen a lot of these three cars tonight, since they're all running up front and have been most of the night. Our McLaren of Patriotic Tifosi, running in fourth position. Looking pretty stable, looking pretty good. He will need some fuel soon, probably some tires to make it through the end of the race. Presidio Dog, he's in fifth. Looks like he's got the
about
fuel
9
to make
seconds
it.
back.
Okay, 9
About 9
seconds back.
seconds back, so he should be pushing now for the front.
Yep, well, he's got the super
And then
soft
9
tires
seconds.
on.
Yep, and then another 9 seconds back from him
Is Vinny Grasso.
Yep.
In the red cow.
Just finished putting. Yeah, and he just finished putting in his personal best sector of sector 2 of 49.2. Now that's mighty quick because the fastest lap of the race was a 49.9, and he was 7/10 faster than the fastest lap of the race. So that's quick.
Yep. Now Patriotics in the pits.
Right, but going down to 7th as you were doing.
Yep.
Does he come out in front of Kitchuation and Joey?
He does.
Oh.
He does. All right. Speaking of Joey in P7, the other BWT car, cruising around. He'll definitely need fuel before this one is over, but he's currently running.
I just have to give a mention to him. Between him and there's only been 3 other racers who, up until this race, in 7 races so far, have been all in the top 10. So Joey has come a long way, considering Joey used to be, a lot towards the back of the pack. So, and you can tell by his lap times, basically. Look at all those 56s and 57s. So he's
Yep.
been pretty consistent. And then in eighth place, not too far back from Joey, is the Situation. He's only about 5 seconds back from Joey and 4 seconds ahead of Supermax. He's been running a really good race. His fastest lap of the race so far is a 55.1. The previous lap he did was a 56.7. So he's slowing down, but the tires kind of tell the story on their own.
Yep. Then in P10 we've got Night Kid, the other Alfa Romeo. He's been struggling the last few races. He's my teammate, and we've been talking about it. And we can't quite figure out what's going on with our cars, but we figured new tire manufacturer and a new livery will make us feel better, and it doesn't seem to be working well for him tonight. But top
If you
10
look
is a
at the
good solid
positive of
finish.
that, yeah, exactly. If you look at the positive of that, Night Kid is amongst, basically it's the two BWT and Alfa Romeo are the only two teams where both drivers have finished always in the top 10. So even though he has been struggling, maybe he hasn't been putting in the results that he's been expecting, but he is mighty quick. So he's still been in the top 10. And it's a long, there's still some races to come. So he just has to keep focusing the way he has been, and he'll be there surely.
Yep. In P11 is RWB Trology as he goes off the track, and I think
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
I think he's
that's
ready for the beach at this point.
and
He's just waiting for a.
I think did he just retire the car? Nope, he's getting back on the track.
No,
Here he
no, no,
goes.
no. There might have been a time when he would have done that, but now he's matured as a racer, and I respect that. He's become quick. He's safe. He's much safer. I've seen him actually in this race. That incident between Vinny, where Presidio gained 2 positions. Trology actually outbroke himself, and instead of plowing into the back of the car, he purposely threw himself off track. So that's a very mature thing to do, and this 11th position, I wouldn't look at that as where he's going to end up. I
Yep.
think he still has something to do.
Yep. And now, just in case you notice, we only have 12 cars on the track now. We have lost. One of the Mercedes cars had to retire their car, so we've lost
Correct.
Venom.
And before Venom, we
Oh,
actually had
and
lost
we
Black
just
Willow
lost the
also.
other Mercedes.
Oh no,
The other
that's a
Mercedes
shame.
just must have
Technical
had some kind of
technical
difficulty.
failure. Yeah, that is a shame.
It is. All right.
But
Well,
who's going to benefit from that is actually the 11th car, who's being passed at the moment by 1 and 2, Francisco and Chica. So Solo in 11th place is the ultimate winner here. He started 14th place. He is now 11th. Well in the points. Definitely going to get some great points today. While Chica's tailing Francisco.
he is.
Pretty
I'm
darn
looking
strong
at him
close.
right now. He's like, "Hey, I
Yeah,
see that pink car. I'm coming for it."
he's getting mighty close. This is where the race has started now. It's the next 3-4 laps are for position.
Yeah, and he's got those slightly worn out super softs, and Francisco's on the
Chica
softs.
does, yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
So I think Sheikah's got a better tire at the moment, but I don't think he's going to be able to make the next 4 laps with them and have the grip he needs to get past Francisco. But uh, I've seen him drive on just the worst tires you've ever seen and make things happen. So he's out there trying to honor his grandfather and come home with a podium or a win at the very least. So we'll see how this works out. What's the gap on
Yo,
them right
that's
now? It's got to be like,
At the moment, it's just under a second. It's 0.8 seconds at the moment. He's within the slipstream, just barely, but he's in the slipstream. Let's go to the cinematic view there of the first place. That's how close they are crossing the line.
yeah, that's pretty close. Definitely within the slipstream. If Sheikah plays his cards right and gets a good run out of this corner, he should be able to catch up at the top
Yeah,
of the straight.
both clipping the apex perfectly and not running onto that sausage turbine, which can really throw your drive. Francisco actually knows about this. He spun out off on that sausage car earlier in the race, and Sheikah is really getting nice and close now. He doesn't have, if any, he might have fumes of go faster juice, or Francisco might have forced him to use it all up.
Sheikah's all out of overtake, and Francisco's got like one shot of nitrous left for last ditch, whatever he needs it for.
Not too far behind. Yeah, there, Sheikah.
Yeah, Sheikah, go.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say, pretty much what you were saying there, Francisco. Not too far behind is Bent. So, I mean, one mistake from Francisco and Sheikah, I mean, Bent can easily take advantage of that. Now,
Right.
Presidio could very well gain some positions here. He's got a little bit of lap traffic right ahead of him. So I don't know if that's going to slow him up, if that's going to help him, if Solo's going to help. It's going to be interesting to see how that's going to pan out as well.
Really quickly, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a matter of 3 corners, he's gained easily 3 seconds. Yeah, easily 3 seconds. He was about 5 seconds ahead of him, but now he's not that far away.
Taking a look here, there's really no other battles going. Well, nope, I'm wrong.
Night Kid and Joey.
Yep, Night Kid and Joey, P9 and 10th.
Alfa Romeo and BWT. Joey beautifully holds the inside line, doesn't allow him to turn in. Basically tells him, no, let's try a different course or a different turn. But Night Kid's getting nice and close. He's got plenty of overtake. Joey and Night Kid have very similar overtake. I think they're both on the tires and fuel to finish the race.
Yeah, it looks that way. So that's a battle for ninth right there. Oh, Night Kid's thought he was going to get a run there. He's playing it safe. Oh, little tap.
Gonna hold the inside line. Oh.
But they recovered.
There was a little bit of movement in the braking zone. Joey should have really held that one line. He should have drifted over, but luckily nothing really came from that.
Oop, Night Kid gets a little sideways. Loses the drive out of the corner, but he's on the overtake. He's like, I gotta stay in this guy's slipstream or I'd have no chance of catching up to him.
Yeah, meanwhile at the front, Francisco looks like he's put about a 2.5 second lead on to Sheikah. Sheikah is about 8 seconds ahead of Bent You Over. Bent is 7.5 seconds ahead of Presidio. The closest battle we got at the moment really is Night Kid and Joey.
Yep, and now I've got Presidio. Yep, and I got lap traffic here between Presidio and Solo. And oh, Solo gets into the dirt.
Yeah, it looked like Presidio went for a half chance there at the turn in. He put his nose in, but he wasn't quite. He was never going to make it, so he should have backed off more. But it worked out all right. I mean, it's unfortunate that happened. It really is. It is a racing incident, but Presidio was a little too aggressive when he had this entire straight here to pass.
And he's got Patriotic to close the gap up. And Vinny, what's that gap from 4th to 5th right now?
But we got to be careful. Presidio's gonna have to put a serious lead, otherwise he might pick up a penalty from the stewards. That could negate everything he just did.
And Patriotic is on fresh tires.
So sometimes people got to think about that when battling with lap traffic, that they can pick up some hefty 20-second penalties and just destroy their entire race. So I don't think Presidio had a complaint against him, so he's going to be safe here. But just for everybody who's watching, sometimes you really do got to take it a little bit easy and just plan your attacks. And somebody who is planning his attack looks like Night Kid back in 10th place. Joey's starting to move a little bit further away, but he's still close enough. He needs to save some more tire if he wants to make a last attempt effort onto the final lap.
Now I'm looking at Patriotic in P5. We're about halfway through this lap, and when these two cars come across, it'll be a white flag, and Patriotic seems to be closing the gap on Presidio Dog for fourth place. I don't know what the gap is. It looks like it's about a second.
It's actually about 3 seconds gap, or a second, 2 seconds and a bit. But Patriotic actually has much better tire wear, so we're going to see on the next lap, Patriotic's going to be able to do certain things that Presidio might not be able to, given that he no longer has grip.
And Presidio still is nursing a 2/10 penalty he's got to get rid of, which he'll probably get rid of here at the bus stop.
Right, and not too far back is Vinny Grosso in 6th, who still has Patriotic and Presidio in his vision into almost every single corner.
Yep.
And let's take a look. Yep, final lap here, Francisco. I think it's safe to say he's got this in the bag. It's his race to lose at this point.
Right, it looks like he has a 2-3 second action lead at the end of that checkpoint of Sheikah. So Francisco at this point has a little bit of pressure. It's the pressure is, I need to bring this home. I've done all the work. Now let's not bin it at the end of the race. It happens many times in the race.
Yeah, and looking at Sheikah here, looks like as much as he wants to catch up to Francisco, it's just not going to happen. So I think his focus is just finishing the race on Warren Super Softs, bringing home a very respectable second place finish.
Yeah, as well as Bent. Two strategies that came together in the end. I like that.
Now Bent's on his medium tires to finish off his required tires, so he's probably got nothing to. There's too much of a gap on the last lap for him to get anything done.
Yeah, he's in a good position, right? He's on the less favorable tire, and he's in no man's land. So at this point, it's also like Francisco. It's his podium really to chop away.
Speaking of him, let's take a look here. We get to watch Francisco coming across the line for P1. Congratulations, P2 for Sheikah. And Bent coming down in the final bus stop here.
Yeah.
Congratulations for the podiums there. And then
not too far behind Presidio.
Presidio Dog in 4th, and dang it! Patriotic gets turned around. Can he make the move? Can Vinny get around him? It looks like he ran out of gas. He ran out of gas.
Oh my
that's a
God!
That was an exciting 4th, 5th, 6th. That's for sure.
Yeah, it was.
And in 7th place is a situation. Now this is a great position. He gained almost 7, 6, 8 spots.
He gained 6 spots during this race.
Yeah, 6 spots.
And after his fair share of misfortunes early in the season, I think he's extremely happy with this position.
In 8th place and 9th was Joey and Supermax. Night Kid in, I believe, 10th. And 11th was Solo.
Wow. All right. So that gives us you know what? I've got some weirdness happening with my screen, so I apologize for that. We have now the official results for that are Francisco takes home 1st place. So congratulations to you on that. What a race that was. And then in P2 was Sheikah. Not a bad way to honor your grandfather there, bud. Good job bringing home the P2 there. Yep.
Thank you.
And Ben again with another podium in 3rd position. That was fantastic.
Yep. And that was his 3rd podium in a row, by the way.
Oh, you're right. It was
3rd podium in a row.
Wow, the guy he's definitely showing that.
That's right. All say Dragon Trail, and now here Spa.
Yep. And then we've got Presidio Dog. Myself came in 4th with Patriotic and in 5th, and Vinny Grasso right behind him in 6th. Could have been 5th Could have been a top 5 for Vinny, but he runs out of gas at the finish. That was insane. He had it with the wreck, but he couldn't quite make it stick, and that's all right. Kitchuation comes home with 7th place. Like we said, climbed all the way up from, I think he was in 13th when he started. I don't remember exactly when he started. I think he started in 13th. Yeah, he did. He started in 13th.
Yes.
Yep, Kitchuation. 8th position, Supermex, one of our wild card drivers. 9th in the other BWT was Joey Canoli. 10th place was Night Kid in the Alpha. 11th place was our other wild card driver, Solo. After that, we've got 12th, 13th, and 14th, which were all DNFs of both Mercedes cars and one of the Ferraris in Black Widow. So,
yeah, in order of when they retired.
Correct. So with that brings the standings up to, I can't read my screen because I just can't. So I was looking at it. I can't see what who the current leader is, but I do believe Shika is now the new points leader.
Correct. He should be. Yep.
Yep. With Presidio Dog in second. Francisco's moved up to third.
Jumps up the order.
Yep. So it's definitely everyone's moving up, and Bent has moved up quite a bit too. So
yeah, he just shot right up.
It's really shot up the order there.
Podiums between the last 2 races, a second and a third. So that's some really good finishes.
Yep. We got to keep an eye out for him. We still have 12 races left. So
yeah, right.
He's got plenty of room to move.
Wet races too.
Yep. Now, speaking of the 12 races left, when it comes to the team standings, so that leaves after this race with 2 top 10 finishes for Alfa Romeo. It still keeps them pretty solid in first place, but BWT is climbing right up there with 186 points behind Alpha's 222 points. Williams has moved up to third. AlphaTauri has fallen down to fourth. Part of that is this race there was no Williams cars. One of the drivers wasn't able to make the race, Turbo, and the other driver was late to the race.
And I need to correct you on that. That was actually AlphaTauri.
What did I say?
That was not present. You said Williams.
Oh, I apologize. I missed that one. Yes, AlphaTauri were the ones that had no showing in this race tonight. So all of those points went to the wildcard drivers, which is helpful to Alfa Romeo, BWT, and Williams, but not so much for the other teams. So that's race 7 at Spa. Spa is over now. But Spa is certainly not done in our series because we will come back to Spa in the rainy season, later in the season. It's one of our wet tracks along with Tokyo and Red Bull Ring. So I think we already did the wet... No, we didn't do the wet race yet at Tokyo, did we?
Tokyo was wet, correct.
Yes, right. So that was 1 out of the 3. So we still have Red Bull and Spa wet tracks to go to next. So... Anyway, so what a great race. Looking forward to Fuji next Friday, or this coming Friday. So all of you who are watching, thanks for watching. Remember, check us out at rwbracing.com. You can find the links to all of our social media and YouTube channel there. We'd love to have you out. Come check us out. We've got all kinds of other stuff going on. If you're watching the stream right now, we've got Gordini Mondays tonight, open to the world. Yep. So come by.
And it's already open.
It's already open, ready to go. Fantastic. So people can come by. So, all right. Again, my co-commentators, RWB V Francisco and RWB Shika, thank you so much for joining me, RWB Presidio Dog.
Thank you.
And we all hope you for having us. Thank you. And we all hope you guys have a wonderful day and look forward to sharing our next streams with you guys. Take it easy, guys.
Yep. See ya.